friends, it's Mary here, and have an exciting new place that I want to show you today. So if you are ever in the Panama City, Florida area and you have military benefits, I encourage you to check out Tyndall Air Force Base FamCamp. So we arrived here on Sunday, and I wanted to show you just a little bit about it. Now, one of my favorite things about this particular base, much like Pensacola, this is a flying base. So it's an Air Force base, and let's see, they are the F-22s, I think, are constantly flying over your head. And for those of us who've spent any time in the military, and specifically with the Air Force, we're kind of used to the sound of aircraft going over our head, and that just feels like home, y'all. So it's pretty exciting. But I did want to tell you just a little bit about coming here. So oftentimes military campgrounds are actually located on the base. So what we typically do is we just set our GPS to the main gate for any particular base. Once we get to the gate, we ask them for directions on how to get to the FamCamp. But I noticed something different this time when I put my GPS in. It kept bringing up Tyndall Air Force Base FamCamp. But again, I didn't want them to do that. I wanted to just take me to the main gate. So I just disregarded that entire FamCamp direction thing. You know, I should have listened to my GPS this time, and here's why. So as we were following our directions to Tyndall Air Force Base, we came across that bridge that you can see in the background there, and we're coming up this road, and out of the corner of my eye, I caught a glimpse of this. That's right, right off to the side of the road is this sign that says FamCamp, with an arrow pointing to our right. So I quickly say, Phil, pull in. I think that's the FamCamp. And sure enough, it was. So if you have made your directions to Tyndall Air Force Base, you're actually going to come to the FamCamp before you get to the base. In fact, you're probably about 2 miles or right down that road from the base proper. But when you watch for the sign, once you come over that bridge, it's going to be about, I believe, the first exit to your right after you come off the bridge. So you're just going to go ahead and turn right into the campground. So let's walk on into the campground and let's take a look and see what this one has to offer. If you're an RVer, you know that one of the things you're always needing to know where the nearest one is, and that is propane. You can actually get your propane tanks filled right here on site. And as per the sign that's hanging here, the current price is $3.34 per gallon for propane. So we'll probably fill ours up before we head out of here. So Tyndall Air Force Base does take reservations, the FamCamp does. So certainly give them a call and schedule your reservations. But when you call them, they may actually say to you, oh, here comes Freedom. They may actually say to you that all of their other sites are full, but their overflow has some availability. Now, overflow at different campgrounds means different things, right? Sometimes it means that you're kind of boondocking. You may have water, you may have electric, but it varies from location to location. At this one, it actually means you're going to have the same amenities. You're just parking in a parking lot instead of in a site. So you will have water, sewage, and electric right there at those sites. Now the building you see here in front of you is located really in the center of the campground, and this houses the laundry, the bath and shower houses. It also has a kitchen in there that you can use, as well as on the far end that you see here to your left, that's also sort of a community room. And then down there to the end, you can see that there is a playground available as well. So here we are outside of that common building that houses the laundry, the shower houses, the kitchen, and that common room. And you'll notice I have my mask on. Masks are required for entry into these common buildings. So we're going to go in and take a look. So this is the side entrance of the building. It does have a key code in it, so you can put it in there and come in at any time, but it does keep others out. And the restrooms are over here on this side. This is the women's, so we'll go in and take a look. here that's got 3 toilet stalls, one of which is handicap accessible. Over here on this side, we have 3 showers, and they're very nice, very clean, plenty of room to get dressed and take your shower. And then over here on this wall, we have 3 sinks, mirrors, and of course a full-length mirror as well. Now, directly across the hall from the women's restrooms is this laundry area, and you can see that there are 5 washers and 5 dryers, and it is $1.50 for each load. One thing I will tell you, they do not have anywhere to get change here in this building. You have to go over to the main office where you can get quarters, but you cannot get them here in this space. But they do have some laundry items in case you're running short. Now, also in this building are 2 soda machines. So this one has cans, the one that's inside. Outside on the front of the building, there's one where you can get bottles. So those are available if you need them. Now, this is that large community meeting room, and directly on our left here, we have the kitchen. Full kitchen accessibility, so if you want to have a gathering, you can certainly do that here. And then here is the room itself. It's absolutely gorgeous, has a fireplace, there are books, there are games, there are puzzles, everything you could need or want is right here in this space, including ping pong and pool tables. So here's our campsite. So we're actually in the very back of the campground, which we kind of like because you're away from the largest majority of the traffic. And it also backs up to a bayou, which I'll show you in a few minutes. So let's take a look around the campsite and show you what it looks like. So as you can see here, this one is actually a pull-through site. There are a few of those here at the campground, although the majority are back-in sites. It does have a cement slab. It doesn't extend way out past, as you can see here, our stairs. Just kind of come right there to the edge of it. Not a ton of additional space. I suppose we could have moved over a little, but the pad's not huge, but that's okay. Each campsite does have one of these built-in picnic tables, which is nice. Now, the only disadvantage that I would say to this particular site is that you can see right here how close we are to our neighbors, right? Not a ton of yard space, but you know what? We're only here for a week. So to us, that's not a big deal. And over here on this side, you can see that it is a full hookup site. So we have water, we have sewage, we have electric, and this campground does also have cable available for you. Now, one of the things that I do love about this particular site, though, and I think all the sites here really have this, is you can see that there's a lot of space up front where we have our truck parked in front of the RV. But also, if you can see back here behind the RV, there's plenty of space there where you could park a second vehicle, or we could have chosen to park our truck back here as well. So plenty of space. The sites are really long and give you plenty of room to park any number of vehicles that you might have, whether they're your own or someone coming to visit. So here's just kind of a little look around the campground as well. You can see that there are some trees here, but not a ton. It's pretty open. The campground does have gravel roads. Here's some more of those pull-through sites on this side. So not a ton of trees, but just enough. Now, this campground does not sit directly on the Gulf, but out there, the farthest water you can see out there is the Gulf. But this body of water that you see here, this is a bayou, and this bayou comes in and extends all the way around the back of the campground, which is where our RV is located. Really is a beautiful site. We've been told that there are alligators here, as well as sometimes the dolphins will come up in this bayou and swim. Unfortunately, We haven't seen either of them yet, but it's been a little chillier than usual, so that could be why. One of the other nature things that we were told to be aware of is black bears. Apparently, black bears do come in this area, and if you leave your trash out, they might come and scavenge it. So you don't want to do that. Now, some of you may remember that in 2018, Hurricane Michael came through, really just hammered the Panama City area, including Tyndall Air Force Base. And I'm just showing you this to show you that here we are several years later and the devastation is still existing. So you can see those trees that were literally just cut off at the tops. There's still a lot of overbrush and things that have just been washed away. This used to have a lot more foliage and vegetation. All of that has been stripped away. But it's still a really beautiful place to go, and we're just so thrilled that they are rebuilding this. But you can absolutely see the destruction that the hurricane brought in the tree lines more than anything. Now, if you're not an RVer, or maybe you have family members who aren't, and you still want to have them come and stay with you, one of the other options here at the FamCamp are these cabins. They have 3 cabins, as you can see here. They are up on stilts with parking below, all the amenities you need from home, everything you need to have a really great stay. So there you've seen a little walk around of the campground. So now let's jump in the truck and let's head over to the main base and let's see what amenities they have there. So as I mentioned, the campground is not located on the base proper. It's actually completely off the base. It's about a mile or 2 before you actually get to the main gate. But this is on the main base, and this is the commissary that you see on this end. On the other end of that building is the BX, and then across the parking lot right back there is the gas station, and that's where the Class 6 store is located as well. Now, between the campground and the main base, so where we went and did the commissary and BX, this is the area that is base housing. And in this area is also outdoor rec. So you can rent boats here, you can dock your own boat if you want, and you can see that there is still some hurricane damage here, but they are working on the docks and restoring those. So there you go. You've had a little bit of look on how to find the FamCamp before you get to the military base. We've taken you a walk around the campground itself so you could see the amenities. We showed you what the sites look like and what ours looks like. We've even showed you the scenery with the bayou behind us, and even the sort of that look at the base itself and what those amenities look like. So hopefully after seeing this, you'll be excited about maybe stopping in here when you come to the Panama City area. One other thing I will mention is that if you like seafood, and more specifically, if you like oysters on the half shell, just a little bit east of here in Apalachicola is probably one of the best oyster locations there is. So anywhere you go to get oysters in this area, you won't go wrong. We've had them several times and they're absolutely delicious. So we encourage you to take advantage of the local sights and sounds as well. One other thing I did want to mention, that I told you all about the amenities of the campsite itself. It is full hookup, including cable. But the other thing I didn't tell you is how much it costs. So it is just $26 a night to stay here, which is very reasonable. They have over 100 sites. So it's a big campground, but plenty of room, well designed for easy in and out of the spots. So come on down, check it out. As always, we're Hendrick Home on the Highway, and we'll see you down the road.